Welcome to my Monday night training. This is Brian Johnson, and you are right on time for the brand new series that I am starting today. That if you are on my email list, then you obviously have my notes, and the series is called Nutrition Truths. Discover how to avoid big disease and enhance your well-being. Because you may find this very interesting. Most people don't know this. It's not common knowledge, and it's definitely not something that supports our medical system. But typically about 90% of any of our illnesses that pop up are completely avoidable by lifestyle habits. What do I mean by that? That's such a great question, because I'm actually going to dive into that tonight, talking to you about all the things that you need to be aware of to be successful. Because here's something that's very important. I work with a lot of different people, and just myself, I haven't been sick in 25 years, and it's not because of some fluke. It's because I understand what my body needs only because of the amount of time I have invested in doing and learning and actively pursuing how to be the best version of myself. And literally my highest goal is to be able to create miracles consistently on the spot through the information that I've been blessed to know and the information I've been blessed to serve people with. So if you're interested in understanding and discovering these truths for yourself, you are in the right place. I have two feeds going right now. So what's up, Mr. Wade Parkhill? Miss you, brother. Hey, Danny. So I have my top feed up here is my Think Great Lose Weight page, and I also have my personal page down here as well. I've got two phones now, so I can actually connect with both. So what's up, Stacy? What's up, Phil Naylor? So, hey, Phil, leave your website on here. Wade, if you need some digital stuff done, you need some advertising or some marketing stuff, check out some of the stuff that Phil's done for me. He's super awesome. He used to do a lot of work for Avid in big movie production, so he's phenomenal. He's done a lot of my stuff for me. So first off, I appreciate each and every one of you. I love you so much, and I'm grateful to be able to connect and share this time with you. And as always, I love to make sure that I provide the utmost best value that I know and I'm aware of. And there may be some other stuff that's out there. I have yet to see stuff that creates a faster miracle than understanding body language, and nutrition, and how to take all of those and put them into your life to consistently create miracles on a daily basis. And let's be honest, that's what we're really looking for, right? Of course. Me too. And that's why I'm doing it. So if this is your first time, type first timer. What's up, Miss Karen Hoffman? Hey, Terry. If this is your first time, just type first timer. And always, the best way that you can help me get my message out is simply by sharing. If you feel inspired to share, then please do. If you don't feel inspired to share, then please don't. I'm going to love you either way. That's how it works. So tonight we're going to talk about an action-packed series that we're going to create. And we're literally creating all of this now to create another digital product called Combating Big Disease. Because there's a lot of stuff and information that's out there that most people are completely unaware of, that when you understand it, it's going to make a massive impact. Not it's going to possibly make an impact. It's going to make a massive impact. And how we're creating our whole series. Hey, Carol. What's up, Travis Dillard? Hey, Jana. Welcome. So what's up, Gabe? All the way from New York. So what we're really getting into is I'm going to share with you and help you to discover the holistic package of why and how something shows up. And most importantly, what you can do about it to be successful. Because here's the deal. Human beings, we've been designed to be happy and to thrive. We have learned somewhere down on our journey how to do the opposite, a lot of us, right? And that's okay, because we're all on our perfect journey. And I assure you, I am by no means perfect. And daily, I work to do things better in my life and to make things better about my life that I'm not necessarily pleased with. And understand that every one of us is where we are. Give yourself full permission to be at peace with where you're currently at, because the only way you can move forward is to truly accept and understand exactly where you're at. Hey, Brent. Hey, Brenda. So let's go ahead and start getting into some stuff. So first off, some questions I have for you, and these are rhetorical. You can totally answer in. You can totally chime in. I will be asking for your feedback along the way. As always, what's up, Kimberly? Go ahead and leave your questions. Hey, Scott, go ahead and leave your questions in the message box. I've got two different feeds on, so if I do not catch your feed while I'm talking or while I'm teaching, please forgive me. I will go back. You have my full commitment to go back, because I am on my phone all week long answering questions and making sure that I connect and make sure that I serve you to the best of my ability or God's ability through me. So just keep that in mind. So whatever questions you have, feel free to answer them. If you'd like to get a question answered quicker, shoot it to my message box. If you need to get a hold of me directly, message my assistant, Jocelyn Britton, and she will be glad to connect you with me. She is my right-hand lady. What's up, Elizabeth? So here we go. So first off, why does it happen? It's a great question, you know, and there's so many different avenues for a big disease to take hold and to step into our life. What's up, Stephen? Hey, Adrian. There's so many different ways that a big disease or even a small disease that can actually take hold and come into your life. So we're going to talk about some different avenues that can happen, and we're going to talk about some different solutions that you can implement to start creating a different outcome in your life. And let's be honest, this is what we're really looking to do, right? Of course, me too. That's why I'm sharing this stuff with you, because this is what God has blessed me with. Like, some people are great at fixing cars. I'm great at fixing human beings. Cancel. I'm great at helping human beings empower themselves with the truth so they can be the best versions of themselves. I'm not a healer. I don't fix people. That's why I addressed and changed that whole conversation piece. I empower people with the wisdom necessary for their body to help themselves. That's what I do. I'm not a miracle worker in the sense that I come and save you. That's not how I work here. Hey, Christy. We'll talk about that stuff too. So let's do it. So my invitation to you is to open your mind. Trust me. Follow my advice, and you will see miracles happen consistently in your life. I assure you. The only reason why is because I see them every day. I see them happen so often that I expect them, because all I'm doing is aligning with God's law. And you're going to see that for yourself when you hear me speak, A, when you're around me, B, when you see the information and things that I teach. All I'm doing is taking you back to nature and taking you back to what God has already provided for us. If yours is universe or yours is trees, do the translation on yourself. I love you no matter where you're at. Just do what works for you. That's my version, and I'm going to stick with what I agree with. Cool? All right. So why does it happen? How does it happen? What do you do? What do you do to prevent it? What does this mean emotionally? This is the question of the day. What does it mean emotionally? That's not a question that gets asked at all when something is going on with someone's medical conditions. That is the first thing that should be getting asked. What's up, Robin? If you're not aware of what's going on emotionally, you're already unplugged. Because if you're not plugged into what's going on in your emotional body, that's where all of the magic or tragedy happens. If you're not aware of that, that's going to be one of the biggest things that you're going to find that I teach and talk and share about. Is a lot of it is going to be on your emotional status with where you're at. So if you understand that and you agree that we are spiritual creatures living a physical experience, just type a yes in the message box, and let's just see where we're at right now. If you have some water, drink it. I've been drinking it all day. I got some chlorophyll in my water now. It tastes a lot better for sure. Hey, Caitlin. Hey, Rocio. So question on the table. Do you believe that we're spiritual creatures living a physical experience? If you are in alignment with that, just type a yes. Let's see where we're at. What's up, Chris? Perfect. And while y'all are filtering in, hey, Miss Cynthia. So while we're answering and everybody's filling in, hey, Sonia. Good to see you. Long time, right? So a lot of newbies on here tonight. So welcome, ladies and gents. You're in an amazing place. You have such an amazing tribe of family members here. You are in a very unique place at a very unique time with a very bunch of unique, amazing people. So feel free to be yourself. Matter of fact, I encourage you and empower you to not be anyone but yourself. If you're not Frank, don't be Frank. Be Brian, be Rocio, be Adrian, be Chris, be Cynthia. Whoever you are, just be yourself, and we're cool with that. So I'm drinking Kangen water and liquid mint flavored chlorophyll, and we'll talk about that. Avoid taking deodorant. Clean foods, Chris. Raw foods. We'll talk about that too. So what do I do to reverse it? Another question. What do I do nutritionally to help? Okay. Now, what are the top big diseases? So I have a whole list. Like if you're following around in my notes, like literally I'm going right down the page, all right? So here's a list of the top big diseases that we've pulled up and then we're actually going to talk and teach on. We're by no means going to get through all of them tonight. Matter of fact, we may get through the first one, okay? That's it. It's a lot of content. So my encouragement to you is to get your pen, get your pencil, get your open mind, and understand that 2017 can be the best, most impactful year of your life, of course, until year 2018 comes along, if you decide and you choose to make it that way. Notice I said if you decide, which means to cut off, and to make it that way, which means you are in a conscious, consistent choice making of choosing to be your best and be outstanding. If you are on that path with me, just type a yes to make sure we're all in the same place. And I know that if you're investing your time with me, undoubtedly, you are convicted to be your best. And I agree. And I vote your victory and I support you. All right. So cancer is number 1. These are in no particular order. Heart disease, diabetes, thyroid, asthma, emphysema, COPD, which is a pulmonary obstruction through lung capacity. Has a lot of times has issues with people smoking and doing things of that nature. Okay, so you've got anti-inflammatory, arthritis and pain. You've got autoimmune and fibromyalgia, which is a big one. You've got anxiety and depression. You've got anemia. You've got blood building, kind of the same thing. You've got digestive challenges, which is a huge deal. Like there's a lot of people who have digestive issues. And when I start to teach you about or help you to remember, because your great God self already knows this information, I'm just helping you to bring it to light. Your digestive system is directly indicative of how your emotional system is running. Meaning, do you have unforgiveness? Do you have emotions that you, quote unquote, haven't let go? Our rheumatoid arthritis will be in there too. It's all in the same boat. So digestive, metabolic syndrome, osteoporosis, osteoarthritis, RA, rheumatoid arthritis, liver disease, kidney disease, energy building, sleep issues, obesity, hormones, mental clarity or neurological challenges from people with Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, dementia. We'll talk about all of that stuff. Talk about chronic fatigue and adrenals, and we'll talk about allergies. We'll talk about sinuses, colds, flus, viruses, and of course antivirals. And how many of you caught my video that I did on not getting a flu shot? If you caught the video that I did on not getting a flu shot, type a yes. If you did not, type a no, and let's figure out where we're at. Let's have a conversation on that real fast, because right now is when you're going to see a lot of marketing on get your flu shot, get your flu shot, get your flu shot. That's all a bunch of shit. Don't get your flu shot. It's crap. It's propaganda. It's all garbage. So if you heard that or you're in agreement with not getting a flu shot, let's hear where you're at. It's important that I understand where you're at and where we're all at. What's up, Jenny? No. I know I have such a smart group of people on here. You all are amazing. I would say never surprised and always amazed at the intelligence of my group of people, and I appreciate you. Yes, but I got a stomach. We'll fix it. If you got a stomach bug, get some activated charcoal. It's about $12. If it's viral, which probably is, if it's a stomach bug, then upload your coconut oil to 56 grams of coconut oil a day. Hey, Carla. You look like a newbie. Welcome aboard. What's up, Steven? Good to see you, bro. Hope you're doing well. All right, so there's a little bit of things. If you got a stomach bug, couple freebies. Get some activated charcoal. Matter of fact, everybody on my call should totally get some activated charcoal and keep it on hand for gas. Keep it on hand for stomach viruses, flus. Keep it on hand for diarrhea. Keep it on hand for food poisoning. And basically what it will do is it will absorb all the toxins out of your body. Super potent. It's actually one of the most potent absorbent sources on the planet. Hey, Lisa. And here's what the difference. Here's something really cool, all right? Check it out. So, you know how there's a guy, I believe it's Carl, is it Carl Faulkner maybe? He may be, disregard the name, I'm just recalling here. But there's a guy, the father of charcoal. To prove its efficacy and to prove its potency, here's what he did. He drank, in his chemistry class when he was showing his kids, he drank a lethal dose of strychnine, which is, I believe strychnine is in rat poisons and things of that nature. But anyways, he drank a lethal dose of strychnine. Hey, Jenny. And then what he did, hey, Miss Audrey Nicole, and then he drank charcoal behind it to prove that the activated charcoal was the most potent source on the planet for absorbing toxins that enter our bloodstream and into our body. So, and it's non-toxic. Now, here's something even crazier than that. Like the Japanese and Eastern cultures, if you've ever heard of it, here we go, I'm getting excited or enthusiastic. What's up, Toddy B? If you get on, if you find out activated charcoal in Eastern cultures for brown recluse spider bites here in the States, we'll cut your freaking arm off if you get a brown recluse spider bite to keep the venom from going through your bloodstream and getting through the rest of your body and impacting all of your muscle systems and nervous system. What they do in Eastern cultures is that they literally will take activated charcoal, they'll put it in a wet poultice, and they'll put it on the wound bite. And what happens is the activated charcoal will literally suck the toxins out of your bloodstream to where you have to do no dismembering. Now, I'm going to go ahead and step out on a limb here, and I'm going to assume, just because I know most of you and how you think and function, I'm going to think that most of you are pretty much on the side of the Eastern cultures in the way that they handle their health and the way that they handle their well-being. If that's agreeable, just type a yes. Not to say there's nothing, not to say anything negative about our system, and to say there's some things that they're not necessarily too keen on or maximizing in the form of understanding emotions or understanding well-being through the form of nutrition, and think that God's foods on our planet and what they do in our system. They don't acknowledge that. When they take you under surgery, they give you chicken fried steak and jello to help you get healthy. There's nothing about putting toxins in your body to make it healthier that makes logical sense to me. Hey, Lena. Now, I'm going to go ahead and assume for a fact that you also believe the same way. I do not believe in putting toxins in your body to make it healthier. I believe in super octating and highly boosting your immune system, your antibodies, and putting the things that God designed with no toxicity that have thousands of other synergistic factors that they do and create in our body to make it massively healthy. It's crazy. I just did activated charcoal on my teeth. Check it out. Nice and white. You literally can put charcoal in your teeth and it will pull all the stains out. If you drink coffee, you smoke cigarettes, whatever it is, literally activated charcoal will take all the stains off your teeth. Nice. I just did mine. So, yeah, I like it. Get some. All right, so now let's talk about some stuff, right? So now we're going to talk about potential reasons for being impacted or being affected, which is really key. Here's what we came down to, right? So number one, this is my number one. And if you haven't shared and you feel inspired, please do. And I highly encourage you to do so that I can support the people in your community that I would never be able to reach ordinarily. And I thank you so much for doing so, because it's not about me. It's about me impacting 200 million people on our planet. How I'm going to do that is by your help, because I cannot do that by myself. I assure you. All right. So here's number one. In my opinion, here's the number one way that we get impacted that most people are unaware of until tonight. Number one is emotional. We break down emotionally or spiritually or energetically all the same. Emotionally, spiritually, energetically. Triad, bam, same thing. We break down in that arena first before it shows up physically. Now I'm going to touch on something that is very controversial, and it's going to be may even be a bit of a challenge for me to articulate it in a way to make sense for you. And I'm going to get myself out of the way and allow my higher conscious self to speak through me so you can understand what it is I'm talking about. And here's what I'm saying. Hey, Melissa. There are a lot of children that are coming down with crazy diseases. And they're like, Brian, like, how could God or someone do that? That's not how it works. Okay? There are things that have been done genetically that have been passed down to sons and daughters of 7 generations deep. You can go back and look at all this scripturally, that are in genetic lineages that show up in our babies, in our brothers and sisters, in our cousins, in our family. There are things that have happened genetically that show up and express themselves in these forms of situations. Okay? So it may not them consciously doing it emotionally. It has been passed down through karmic situations. Very touchy situation. Hey, Valerie, I'm just sharing with you the research I've done, what I've experienced, questions that I've asked, and asking the same questions about yourself. Because when I think about this, I'm like, okay, why would God send someone to hell if it's your child? I don't agree with that. I believe there's a lot of amazing people on the planet that do amazing things, that have things that happen that are out of their control, in a sense. And these situations have been passed down from moms, dads, genetic lineage, all the way back. That is karmic residue that is still getting to be lived out until it passes on, until someone in that line makes a new choice to change it. So when I say you are the one, you are the one. You are the one to change whatever it is in your life that you are unhappy with. You have every bit of power and right to change it today if you so choose to do. And guess what? You are the only one who can do that. Just like I am the only one who can do that. So when I go off in the jungle with my coaches and do a lot of emotional work, this is exactly what I'm doing, is changing my lineage of things that I've been unhappy about, things I've been carrying around unknowingly, unconsciously, that have been able to shift and change. You also have the same opportunity. And it ain't going to be easy. There's nothing about what I'm talking to you about is going to be easy. It will be by far some of the most challenging things that you ever get to experience, and it will be by far the most uplifting, miracle-creating experiences you could possibly ever undergo. Hands down, without a doubt. Now, let's move on. All right. So, second thing. Second way of how external situations can impact us and create some type of issue, from disease, illness, any of that thing. If you find me itching my nose and doing all this stuff, that's body language. My body goes nuts when I'm talking. My body is all kinds of stuff. So if you see me digging, just let me do my thing. And I love you. Some people are like, dude, you keep itching your nose. I'm like, I can't help it. I don't. I sit here and I wander around and I wiggle around in my chair. That's just what happens, right? So, all right. So number 2, environmental pollution and electrical chaos. All right, there is a ton of environmental pollution. To kind of give you an idea, there's been a study done a while back. I want to say this is when we were in Institute of Integrative Nutrition. This is one of the 3 things I learned from them. That there are literally 225-ish industrial chemicals that are found in the umbilical cords of moms passing through their babies. Hey, Rebecca. What's up, Aaron? Love you, bro. I'm going to repeat that. Hey, Christy, there's 225 industrial chemicals passed from mom to baby through umbilical cord. And 208 of them are carcinogenic. What does that mean, Brian? Here's what that means. The waters that we drink, the airs that we breathe, the toxins that we use, the things we put on our skins, the foods we eat, everything you could possibly think of is going to have some type of impact on your body. The key is how much, and what are you doing to mitigate the outcomes of these toxic chemicals? Because let me just tell you this, it's only going to get worse and more abundant, because there are more things going on now and coming into our environment that we are completely unaware of, with no scientific studies done, that we are totally taking in unknowingly. We are basically a lot of human science projects, if you will, with what's going on our planet. So we're going to talk about some things that you can do to mitigate that. The electrical chaos. I have an electrical chaos necklace on here. I've got another one of my clients right here. So there's different things you can do. We'll talk about all that stuff. I'm just opening up some files for you right now, right? So, number 3, we're going to talk about vitamin and mineral deficiency, because here's something very interesting, and you probably already know this, but let's just go through this again, right? So, since like the 1920s and 1930s, we're just going to use spinach as an example, the stuff that Popeye ate. There has been a massive decline in nutrient availability in our soils because of the ways they have been farmed and the way that they have been growing crops. What does that mean? Here's what that means. We have mineral deficient soils that produce mineral deficient plants, that produce mineral deficient foods, that produce mineral deficient people with mineral deficient diseases. Why is that important? Because when you are low on minerals, here's what it also impacts. This is a big deal. Like when I go out to the jungle and I go to my coaches' classes where we do sacred body language and we do emotional transmutation and we're doing all kinds of stuff, here's what happens. We go through 2 months of prep of nutrition, high vibration, high vegetable, high vegan-based foods, and minerals. Why do we do that? To give our body all the information necessary for it to thrive. Because here's the deal. If you are stuck emotionally in apathy, which means I can't, this is too hard, if you're stuck in sorrow, if you're stuck in anger, if you're stuck in anything other than I am that I am and I am enthusiastic about my life, if you are stuck, it's because you do not have the minerals necessary to produce the catalytic reactions that allow you to transmute, transform emotions into their next higher counterpart. I'm going to say that one more time because that's a lot of very heavy information very fast, all right? Minerals are extremely important. If you walk away from anything I share with you tonight, you need some minerals. I use Clark's minerals. They looks like a guy in the jug, like the old Greek guy that's in the circle that's half naked. That's not me, and that's the minerals that I use. So when you go to Clark's Minerals, there's two different kinds. I use the one where the guy is in the little circle, right? Now here's the important part of them. Colloidal minerals are extremely important because those are plant-based minerals. I'll get back on that one, Rocio. I will answer it for you a little bit though. So plant-based minerals are colloidal minerals, which means that they take up minerals from the soil and they invert them into the plant where now you can eat them organically, and the plant has already absorbed the minerals from Mother Earth and we can absorb them that way. Those are the best ways to get them. All right? Those of you down here on this feed, if my feed goes off, it says connection is weak, go to Think Great Lose Weight on my biz page. That way the live feed is going to be a stronger connection. So if you get stuck, matter of fact, connect on that one anyway. And I love you. All right. So mineral deficiency is a big deal. Our foods do not have near the mineral source that they used to. So if you're not getting a wide array of fruits and vegetables and blended smoothies and drinking minerals on a consistent basis, you are definitely going to notice a difference. And I'm going to share with you my example. I haven't done a vegetable smoothie until today in probably 2 weeks. Shame on you, Brian. And I love myself. I recommit to drinking my vegetable smoothies every day. And here's what happened. I fasted until 12 today. Got up and did some cardio, drank my branched chain amino acids, and fasted. I only had vegetable smoothies until about 12:30 before I went and did. We'll talk about that too, Tanya. I went and did Pilates at 1 o'clock today. So those of you know I do Pilates a couple days a week. I do boxing 3 days a week, and then I do jiu-jitsu a couple days a week too. So I'm very active. And here's what I mean by that. So there's times when I'm doing my Pilates workout where I get smoked and I have to quit. My muscles are done. I'm done. I need a break for a minute. Well, since I switched over to vegetarian stuff, literally smoothies today, that's all I had until 12 o'clock. I had one meal before I went and did Pilates. Here's what I noticed. Hey, Susan, I literally went through my whole workout without even having to stop. This is how much different my body's pH was. When I'm eating meats and things like that, my body is more acidic, which means without oxygen, which means I am less prepared and less available to push myself through higher anaerobic threshold, which means without oxygen. Okay? When I had vegetables today, I felt way better. My mindset shifted. I was kind of in a funk the last 2 days, and I noticed that it just peeled off. And I'm like, wow, I meditated a couple times today, did my normal stuff. And I can tell you that if you're not doing vegetable smoothies, it will dramatically impact your life. Because here's the deal. Vegetables are the only thing that can induce a phase 2 enzyme in your body, which means a phase 2 enzyme is when every cell in your body will detoxify itself. If you've ever had asparagus and you smell your pee a little bit stronger, just type a yes. Let's talk about this for a second. Hey, Susan. Good to see you. So if you've ever had asparagus, hey, Jennifer Cole, I've been looking at all your cookies. Very exciting. I wouldn't be able to sleep. If you've had asparagus and you notice when you've gone to the restroom that your pee is a bit more pungent, just type a yes. Let me explain to you what's going on. This is the reason why this will be important for you. And we're probably going to go a little over 7:30, so if you have to cut out, you can catch the replay. All right. So a phase 2 detoxification is extremely important because we're talking about environmental pollutions, all right? So when you have environmental pollutions, it's because, obviously, the environment, here are some things you can do. One of your top heavy metal chelators, so anyone who has any type of neurological symptoms or issues or any type of brain fog, any type of mercury conditions, Sonia, I believe it was you, was talking about autism. Anyone who has any type of mercury issues, what you're looking for, first off, A, is you have to have your bowels completely open, which means you need to be going 2 to 3 times a day. If you're not, do not start taking cilantro because mercury is moved 80% through your bowels. So if you're eating mercury chelating foods like cilantro, for example, that's your top one. If you're eating cilantro and it's pulling all of the heavy metal out of the fats in your brain and it's putting them into your bloodstream to be removed, here's what happens next. When you do asparagus, and asparagus is your top detoxifying food, which means it is your highest glutathione food. I'm going to say that one more time. Aaron, will you type glutathione in there for me? Because I think you know how to spell it, and I know you know what I'm talking about. Glutathione is your master enzyme, extremely important. That's the number one thing that allows you to detoxify every cell in your body. That's also why when you have asparagus that your pee stinks, because it's detoxifying your kidney and your livers, and that's why you get the smell and that's why you get the color difference when you have asparagus. So now, this is important. If you're talking about chelating or pulling out environmental toxins and environmental metals from your brain, from autism, from dementia, Parkinson's, any of these things where you have neurological challenges because there's heavy metal toxicity in your body, and I'm not talking about the band, I'm talking about metal toxins. If you're taking cilantro, the first thing you do, make sure you're taking probiotics, make sure you're taking good bellies, make sure you're boosting your enzymes to get your bowels wide open. High amounts of water, alkaline water preferably. Kangen water would be great. Second thing is, when you start eating asparagus, or when you start eating, thank you, Audrey, when you start eating cilantro, you got to make sure that you pair it with the asparagus, and you got to make sure you pair it with the avocado or the broccoli. Asparagus, avocado, broccoli, those are your top 3 detoxifying foods. Those are your top 3 glutathione foods. That is why when you take cilantro and you pair those 3 foods with it, you have the cilantro that pulls everything out into your bloodstream, and then you have the asparagus to be able to push the rest of that stuff out. But it's only 3. We'll work on some stuff with you. There's smoothies and things that we can do, and there's definitely some things that I can support you with, and we'll talk about offline. That way I can give you some better guidance. And I love you and I support you. So just understand that all the stuff I'm talking to you about right now is in our Nutrition Empowerment series. Like literally understanding the wisdom in every food that God has created at your grocery store will literally change your life, because it's going to empower you with the truth. You will stay out of the doctor's office because you will be healthy and you will understand what to do to take care of yourself, right? So that's vitamin and mineral deficiency. Number 4 we're talking about potential reasons for being affected. Number 4, lifestyle habits is one of the biggest challenges, all right? Foods, skin products, exercise, lack of exercise, your thoughts. A bad thought will kill you much faster than a bad disease. And that is really important to understand that, because all thoughts create either positive emotional charges or electrical frequencies, or negative electrical frequencies. Those are very important. Your words and what you say, by far, in my opinion, is the fastest way that you can upgrade or downgrade your life, hands down, because one thought will create, or one word will create one thought, that will create one action, that will create one behavior, that will create one habit, that will create one belief system. Period. Okay? Number 5, stressors. Life stressors, relationship stressors, money stressors, emotional stressors, all of that stuff. Number 6, we're going to talk about what to avoid. All right? What to avoid. Very important. Number 7, we're going to talk about nutritional what-to-dos, because here's the thing. Your nutrition is going to be important, and 80% of it is going to come from your brain and your thought pattern and your belief systems before your nutrition is ever going to be able to come in and make a difference. Does that make sense to you? If that makes sense to me, just type a yes. This is very important, and I choose to make sure that I'm serving you to the highest of your potential to receive the information. And if that's off, I need to go back and explain that to you. So if you understand that your nutrition is only going to be as effective as your brain and your mindset and your belief systems around what's going on, just type a yes. It's a good one. All right. Hey, Valerie. It's great to see you. Hey, Rebecca. Sonia. Awesome. I appreciate all of you participating. What's up, Jeremy Howie? Love you, bro. I appreciate your participation. What's up, Scott? It's good to see you again, too. Say it again, please. Okay, so here we go. Thank you, Robin, for that. So here you go. So I'm going to say it one more time so everyone understands. If your mindset is not correct, when I say correct, meaning not on the proper alignment with you thriving, whatever that is, if that is not accurate, it doesn't matter what you're eating. You could be eating everything completely organic, everything by the book, following the protocol, and if your belief systems are out of alignment and you have some emotions that have not been resolved or dealt with, it doesn't make a hill of beans of what you eat, because it's not going to work. You have to clear the emotional blocks up first before your food's going to go in and instill the faith in your body to be able to transmute whatever it is you're experiencing. If that made sense, type a yes on that. That way I understand. I think that was better delivered. Better? Okay. All right. I feel good on that one. It's important that you feel good on it, though, because that's the most important person here is you. Hey, it's very important. Listen to this. Listen with your left ear and receive this open-mindedly. Fillingly. You are the most important person on the planet. Why do you say that, Brian? Here's the reason why I say that. Scripturally speaking, I'm not talking religion. Scripturally speaking, love your neighbor as yourself, which implies you first must love yourself. You cannot give away anything that you do not own. The most important thing you could do is ever love yourself. And here's how you will be able to tell. If I ask you the question, do you love yourself? What is your response? This is not a rhetorical question. This is response required by my family. Do you love yourself? What's your response? And I'll share with you my story. And we're going to go for about another 10 more minutes so I can serve you a bit longer. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Stephen Galvan, how you doing, bro? I appreciate you sharing, Jennifer. Look at you, Cynthia. Yes. Yes, I do. Not enough. That's good. I appreciate the honesty because I have something for you next after this. Got a few more going to filter in, and then I'm going to share something with you, right? This is a very important story. Some of you may have heard this about me before, and I'm going to share it with you. So for those of you that are still filtering in your answers, here's the deal. If your answer was not a yes, that's a no. And that's okay, right? Because here's the deal. Unless you are operating in your current reality, good, Melissa, we'll work on that. Unless you're operating in your current reality, then there's no way to be able to shift where you're at. And for those of you that showed up and actually said, I don't know, and awesome, William, I appreciate that, bro. And for those of you who said, I have a hard time and sometimes, I love you. And here's the reason why, because today is the day, right? You can never feel guilty enough to help someone else feel better about themselves. You can never be broke enough to empower someone to be rich. All right? The key is this. When my coach asked me if I loved myself about it's probably been about 5 years ago now. For those of you that don't know, in my early 20s, I was suicidal. I've been high on every drug you could possibly imagine. By the fact that I'm even here talking to you is by a freaking miracle and a grace of God. Make no mistake. And I had some pretty crazy experiences that happened in my life. And when I was in my early 20s, I was suicidal. And for 12 years, I, what's up, Trey, was operating off of I don't love myself. And guess what? When he asked me the question, do you love yourself? I said, yeah, of course. Guess what? Anything other than a yes or a no is a no. Not wrong. Let your yes be your yes and your no be your no. And all I'm doing is aligning with scriptural laws. I'm not talking religion. Okay? So what happened is I thought that I loved myself. But when I look back on my life and I look at all the crazy shit that happened, all the crazy things that I did, how I damn near wasn't dead, and all the things that I created because I didn't love myself and I didn't think that I was worthy of it. Hey, bro. Good to see you, Trey. What happened when I actually did a film role, when he asked me that, I'm like, well, of course not. Look at all the stuff I've done. I'm damn sure I'm just blessed to be alive here. Of course I don't love myself. Beam me up. Show me the way. What do I get to do? So for the next 20 minutes, my coach literally coached me back into my response. Coached me back into my life to where I was literally behind my eyes. It was so freaky. The day that I left class that day and actually loved myself, let me explain to you what happened and what I experienced. I could have swore to you being completely Brian with you because that's the only person I know how to be. I thought someone had given me some acid when I left class that day. And here's the reason why. When I left class that day, trees were blowing. The colors were way vibrant. Animals were interacting different. I had people call me out of the blue that hadn't talked to me in 5 or 6 years saying, hey, man, I love you, and I was thinking about you, and I was praying about you, and I just wanted to call you. I'm like, what is going on here? These people had no idea what had just happened. What really just transpired in my whole life just completely shift in the blink of an eye. And when you make these type of emotional transmutations, like when you're loving your forgiveness into your love and you're forgiving and you're doing all this stuff, your life is going to shift in the twinkling of an eye. Immediately it shifts. And everyone in your life shifts because you're all connected through quantum physics, quantum spiritual mechanics. That I am you and you are me. So when I shift, I'm automatically empowering you to do the same thing. So that day, my life dramatically changed. And I had no idea, first off, that it was even off its mark. I was completely asleep to what was available. So if I'm speaking to you right now, understand that today is a day. Today is the only day that you have. My invitation to you is to completely give yourself permission to forgive yourself. Whatever guilt, shame, negativity, unforgiveness you're holding on to, it's only hurting you. And if you're holding it against someone else, it's like literally taking a cup of poison and drinking your strychnine yourself and expecting whomever else you're holding it against to get sick. It doesn't work that way. My invitation to you is to set yourself free today because you are the only one who can do that. And if you would like to talk offline, you have my full commitment to support you and to help you out with where you're at. And just understand, like Jesse Elder will say this, and I love him so much. The better it gets, the better it gets. And as people start to grow and they start to expand and they start to feel better and they start to experience better, guess what? Most of the time, in the back of their mind, they're like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. When is the other shoe going to drop? When's everything going to go south? When's everything going to fall apart? Those are upper limits challenges. Those are belief systems you could have very well inherited from mom and dad, having no idea you consciously accepted and received them. But those are belief systems that show up. And when they show up, most of the time, unless you're aware of them and can objectively review them and make a new choice, guess what happens? Your whole life is going to shift based off of that. Were you wearing a red shirt the day that happened? I choose to know. I choose to remember. I'll think about it for a minute. I'll let you know. Hey, Shannon. So back to what I was talking about for a second. So just understanding, like, if your emotional belief systems are not supporting you thriving, that's the first place you get to go. That's the first place you get to do the work on. And honestly, like, here's the deal. When people call me for, hey, Brian, I've got this nutrition problem and I can't lose weight, I'm like, honestly, you want to get down to the nuts and bolts or you want to talk about surface stuff? Well, let's solve it. Awesome, all right? Well, let's talk about emotions and let's see what's going on. Let's see where you're not fulfilled and let's see where you're messed up at. And when I say messed up at, I mean that loosely in the term of there's something that's operating that's not serving you. We'll just call it a glitch, if you will, right? So until you're able to identify those using body language, identify those using language code, you're going to be stuck and you're going to keep creating experiences. You're going to keep pulling in people into your life that are going to validate your thoughts about where you are and who you are. So let's continue, shall we? Is everyone good with time? If that's the case, I'm going to cruise a little bit longer. I'm feeling inspired to share a bit longer, so I may go for about another 10 or 15 minutes. And if you're cool with that, just type a yes. If you're not, just type a no. And I love you, and I'll probably continue anyway because I'm having a good time. Deal? Deal. And if you haven't shared, please do share. I appreciate you. Hey, Lena, it's great to see you. And Shannon, I sent you a message today, Shannon, too, so check your stuff. All right, so here, let's talk about this. Now, I got this information right now that I'm about to share with you that's kind of interesting. I saw it in my mind's eye. It's a good possibility. I appreciate you, Sonia. You ladies are awesome. I appreciate all of you. All right, so let's do this. With your permission, I'm going to go ahead and continue being Brian, and my encouragement and offer to you is for you to consider being yourself fully and allow yourself to relax. Say this, use this affirmation. I'm going to share with you a couple of things that I find extremely helpful for me when I find myself stuck in a glitch, all right? So here you go. So write these down. I give myself permission a lot, and I don't do it for my egoic mind. I do that to get my egoic mind or my conscious mind out of the way so I can connect with my subconscious, right? So I give myself permission to be comfortable being uncomfortable. What's up, Steve Rivas? Because one thing I assure you is this. If you're looking to have your ultimate experience as a human being, the only way that's going to happen is for you to face the very things that you try to hide in the corner and hide underneath and try to not avoid. The faster you can give yourself permission to love those, no matter what they are, love them, the faster you can shift them. So I give myself permission to be comfortable. Being uncomfortable is one of my favorites. Here's another one. Here's another thing for you to understand. There's 6 human needs that as human beings we are consistently trying to fulfill through decisions we make, through experiences that we hook up with, through all of this stuff, right? There's 6 of them. Number 1 is certainty. Number 2 is uncertainty, completely paradoxical, right? Number 3, significance. Number 4 is love and connection. Number 5 is growth. And number 6 is contribution. My top 2 needs are significance, growth, and contribution. And one of the things I also have a challenge with, believe it or not, is fear of rejection. That's right, Lena. So Lena wrote it down here on our bottom. There you go. Perfect, Audrey. Y'all are awesome. So Audrey wrote it down up here up top, and Lena wrote it down here on the bottom. I give myself permission to be comfortable being uncomfortable. Here's the next one. I personally have a challenge being rejected. That's one of my biggest fears, and I get to face it often because doing these kind of things, I totally open myself up for that, and it's perfect, right? So here's one of the things that I will share with you. This is the writer down, or this is the second one, right? So I release myself from all need of approval and fear of disapproval. That's right, Lena. I release myself from all need of approval and fear of disapproval. I hide it well, right? Yes, I totally am. I can't stand being rejected. It's okay. You know, honestly, while I'm sitting here talking, I'll have shit that pops up that I get to coach myself through immediately. I may be doing stuff in my head while I'm talking to you and adjusting my mindset. Happens all the time. I'm reading an amazing book right now. Check this out. This book right here, one of my spiritual coach told me to get this, and I've been reading it. Letting Go by David Hawkins. The Pathway of Surrender. Phenomenal book. I have the audio too. I highly recommend the book. I find that I'm getting more substance out of the book, although I am a big audio person. But it's a great book. And what it does is it will literally take you through a systematized way of identifying where you're at and being able to shift things. And also, too, if you're looking for a faster way, we have a whole digital series on exactly what I'm talking about to help you out with this. Actually, multiple of them. All right? So now, let's go. Let's talk about this. All right? Some body language. And receiving direction. Moving forward. I appreciate you, Robin. So great to see you. I'm glad you can make it. All right? So here we go. Yeah, you'll find for me, yes, David Hawkins. Would someone write that down for us in our little group, please? And thank you for that, Audrey. You're awesome. I had asked you before about asking, been very itching. You said emotions. Okay, I work with that now. What happens when I'm nervous? How about this? How about you and I have a conversation offline? That way I can help you directly. Or if you're cool with that type of yes. If so, just send me a message and we'll set something up for you. I came across large in life, but I'm terrified to put myself out there with people I don't know. Tammy Edwards, I love you. And guess what? Here's something that's very important. And this is really one of the reasons, like, I'll tell you my story. Like, when I started doing social media stuff, dude, the first time I started doing this, literally like 2 years ago, like, there was literally crickets. When I say crickets, like, there was no one that responded, no one commented, no one shared any of my stuff. And that was a real big opportunity for me because here's what happened. I was really debating on never even getting into sharing a lot of the information. And I had years of information, well over 100,000 hours. And I'm not talking pat on my back. I've just invested that much time because I love it that much. Even if I never did anything with it, I enjoyed it that much. And I didn't care. I was still going to do it. So here's what happened. Here's what allows me to move forward, even if I feel or even fear rejection. I have a responsibility and an obligation to serve my people, period. It's not about me. If I'm being completely in my own head and selfish of me being rejected, then I'm not worth my salt, as Bob would say. I have a responsibility and an obligation to share my message, to support people just like you, to empower you with the truth necessary to be the best version of yourself, no matter what it takes. And here's how that happened. So when I had crickets of people not responding and showing up, here's what literally happened. Like this was the tipping point for me to say, okay, it doesn't matter what I experience on the social media land. If no one shows up, it doesn't matter. It still gets to happen. I still get to push forward, and I still get to continue, and I still get to share. It's not about me. Here's the reason why. I remember having a conversation with God, and I was like, hey, Courtney, I was like, man, God, I was like, I cannot handle being broken down and being rejected and putting myself out there like this. Like, this is not what I signed up for, period. It's like, if this is how it's going to be, I'm done. I'm out. God was talking to me as well. He goes, you're going to go out in public today. And this was not an audible conversation. This stuff I was feeling down in my heart. And he goes, you're going to go out in public today. And here's what we did. What's up, Jason? He goes, we're going to go to Kohl's. And you're going to look around and do some stuff. So I walk into Kohl's and I'm looking around doing some stuff. And all of a sudden, this person, appreciate you too, Audrey. This person comes out of my right and says, hey, is your name Brian Johnson? And I was like, yes, it is. It's like, what's going on? How can I support you? I say that all the time. It's just a normal way of functioning for me. And he goes, you don't know me. I know you from Facebook. I've never commented on any of your stuff. And I'd just like to let you know that you changed my life. I've started implementing the things that you talked about and things that you shared, and literally my life has dramatically changed, and I just recognize you, and I just want to come over and tell you that because I really appreciate it. And I was like, wow, man. I was like, dude, you have no fucking idea how important it was for me to hear that right now. Like, your timing is impeccable, my friend, and I appreciate that so much. So I was like, all right. That's what I needed. So we left. Told him thank you. Was grateful to connect with him. Went to HEB or somewhere else after that. Sitting there doing my thing. And guess what? Now I have someone come up from my left. A lady. She goes, hey, is your name Brian Johnson? I said, yes, it is. She goes, well, you don't know me. I've never had a conversation with you. I see your stuff on Facebook, and I was just letting you know that all the stuff you've told me about, I've been sharing with my mom. And now my mom's doctors are freaking out because she's not on any medications. She's out of the hospital. She's healthier now than she's ever been, and they don't know how or why she did it. And I was like, wow, are you kidding me? Really? I was like, man, that's amazing. I was like, I'm so grateful for you to share that with me. You have no idea how impeccable your timing is. This is the same day. This is not 2 different days. This is not a week apart. This is the same day, an hour apiece. I'm like, all right, I get it. I get it. I give myself permission to be comfortable being uncomfortable, to share the truth so people like yourself can use it and thrive. And share it with your people, because that's the whole reason why I take time out of my week every week to do these. That's why I do so many videos that are on there. If you need more content and more information, more free information, no matter where you're at, go to YouTube. We got over 470 trainings on there. Like, don't knock yourself out. Dive in and enjoy yourself. If you're really looking to expand your education and really dive into the meat or the vegetables of what we have to help you to thrive and learn systems, to understand what your body language is telling you, to understand what it means when you're stuttering 2, 3, 4 times, we have all that stuff too. Those are programs that we have in our Emotional Breakthrough series, our Body Language series, our Nutrition Empowerment series, all of this stuff. It's truly available for you. Like, if I could open up your lid and share with you what I know and what I've experienced and what I've seen, honestly, most people are not ready for some of the conversations that I come up with. And if you ever talk to me, don't ask me about the weather. I'm not a small talk person. I'm not a sports person. I like watching boxing because I got beat up a lot when I was younger, so I box on a regular basis. So I watch YouTube stuff like that, but I'm not a small talk person. I'm like, you know what? Let's create some miracles. And if you're in on that, I'm in. If you're not, then I love you. And there's not really much we have to talk about. That's awesome. So let's continue on, okay? We'll go for a little longer. So I'm going to talk to you right now about, this is the World Health Organization, all right? So the World Health Organization is the World Health Organization. Now, whatever political ties and biased opinions they have, I'm not too sure. I'm just going to share with you the facts that I've gotten off the website so you can use these for yourself if it makes sense, all right? So here you go. Chronic disease is responsible for 60% of all deaths worldwide. 80% of chronic deaths occur in low and middle income countries. Almost half of chronic disease deaths occur in people under the age of 70. Around the world, chronic disease affects women and men almost equally. The major risk factors for chronic disease are unhealthy diet, physical activity, and tobacco use. I'm going to repeat this because this is important for you. The major risk factors for chronic disease are unhealthy diet, physical activity, inactivity, and tobacco use. Well, look, if you don't smoke, which you probably don't, if you do, you get to stop. That's your New Year's resolution. And both of those, unhealthy diet and physical inactivity, are both lifestyle choices. They're both lifestyle things like I told you about earlier. Lifestyle is the biggest thing. Like if you can adjust your lifestyle, transition it, you don't have to change it overnight, and you make a couple of habit changes, you start making some language choice changes, your life will transform in ways you had no idea. Let me just share this with you. Like literally, we're in 2017. I got out of jail in 2008, I think. And if you would have ever told me this is what I would be doing and the people that I'd be working with and the people that I would be supporting and creating programs with and alliances with, I would be like, you've lost your mind. You've totally lost your mind. Quit smoking the crack. Put the pipe down, right? What I'm sharing with you is this. God will take every bit of your messes and turn it into your message. And one of the biggest things that I dealt with for about 7 years when I got out of jail was my shame and my guilt. My shame and my guilt held me down for 7 years until I finally said, you know what? I'm done with it. Most of the people in the Bible that were the best prolific writers invested half their life in jail or more. God took care of them. God will take care of me. As soon as I took that brick out of my backpack, poosh, life took off for me. Something about the year sevens. So my question to you is this. What bricks do you have in your backpack? Which ones have you been resistant to let go? My next question is this. Are you ready and committed to take those bricks out and let them go? Because you are the only one who's going to be able to do it. No one can do it for you. And the beauty of that is you have everything you need right now to be successful. Well, at least you didn't get two of them. Look at the bright side. The glass is half full or half empty. It's definitely a consistent conscious choice. So no matter where you're at, understand in 24 hours you can be back on top. It's just going to take you transforming yourself from the inside out. Any changes you're looking to create external is going to be because you're doing the work internally. If you don't go within, you go without. And I'll be more than happy to support you. Let me know where you're at. You have my full commitment to help you be the best version of yourself if you meet me 100%. Not 50, not 95. Fear of change is too comfy. Well, think about this. Let's do something. We're going to do a little Tony Robbins process, right? So check this out. It's called the Dickens process. What's up, Roz? Love you, bro. The Dickens process is what he calls it. It's basically the Scrooge process. So take a look at this. Right now, we're having this conversation 1 year from now. All right? We're having this conversation at the almost a turn of 2018. So get your butt in a 2018 chair and mindset. This is 1 year from right now. Look at your life. Look at where you're at. Look at your finances. Look at your relationships. Look at your spiritual connection with God. Look at your business. Look at your health. Look at everything that's in your life. If you make it that long, because shit, I could die tomorrow. If you make it that long and don't make any changes in your life and you continue exactly where you're at, can you honestly look at yourself and be content and to be happy with where you're at? It's a yes or no. 1 year. What's your answer? Yes or no? Let's see where you're at. That's right. Just do it. Yes or no? First question on the table. Yes or no? Will you be happy in 1 year if you make no changes? Because ultimately, the only person who's going to be able to change it is you. And when you decide to change it, people will show up. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Like, I had no idea some of the mentors that I would have been able to work with. And the beauty of the day and age that we live in right now is you literally have access to every amazing soul and mind on the planet with a touch of a fingertip. So to not have what you require and what you desire is completely, it's unfathomable. Okay, there's no way around it. All right, so here we go. We got a lot of no's on there. Perfect. I love that. I am the same way. Satiated and I need a change. Yep. Well, we'll talk about that, right? So here's the thing. Now you fast forward 5 years from now. You look at your life. You look at your business. You look at your job. You look at your health. You look at your health first, because without your health, I don't care how much money you have. You could be a bazillionaire. You could have every dime on the planet. If you don't have your health, you couldn't give every bit of that money away to get yourself another day. Nothing worse than having other people taking care of you because you're unhealthy. And you have every opportunity today, moving forward, to make new choices to change that. And you have resources available at your fingertip. It has never been easier to be more successful and to thrive in your life. The only reason why you would not be is because you are holding yourself and you don't believe you are worthy. You have some emotions that have not been dealt with. And therefore, they are unconsciously expressing themselves through your inability to move forward and make decisions for you to thrive. And until you give yourself full permission to be comfortable being uncomfortable, guess what? Yield number 5 is going to be here next week. And it's going to be exactly the same as where you're at right now. And unless you're really willing to face that, and to be, I say, brutally / lovingly honest with yourself, there is no moving forward. That's what you get. So, my question to you is this. Are you willing to stay where you're at? Are you willing to be, hey, Heather Jasser, I was just thinking about you yesterday, sunshine. It's good to see you. Are you willing to stay where you're at? Are you willing to consistently show up the same way you are right now to get exactly what you got to be at the same place 1 year to 5 years from now? What does that equate to you? What kind of pain does that mean for you? Hey, Uba. What kind of pain does that mean? Because here's the unfortunate thing as a human being and the blessing in the same token. Human beings are not moved by pleasure, most of them. We're moved by pain. Unfortunately, most human beings will not make a change until there's so much pain, they're like, fuck this. I am not staying the same. I don't care what it takes, who it is, what I got to do, whatever it is. I'm out. I'm doing something different. This will never happen to me again. Period. That's it. Until that happens, and until you catch that pain, and until you're willing to say, you know what, today is the day. I am motivated by pleasure. I'm motivated by living the experience that God has designed for me to do because of the human being that I am. I'm not settling for mediocrity in my life. I'm not settling for shitty relationships. I'm not settling for a shitty job that I don't like going to. I'm not settling for a shitty way of not being able to love myself and to be unhappy with my health. I'm not going to settle for any of it. I'm unwilling to settle for any mediocrity in my personal life. Therefore, anything else will also be unacceptable in every other area of my life, period. Doesn't matter who you are. You can make the exact same choices for yourself. Once you decide and you shift and you start putting new skill sets in your mind, that's the only way you're going to be able to move forward. Because unless you're changing your operating system and you're still functioning on DOS, guess what? You're going to get DOS outcomes. When you upgrade to Windows or you upgrade to the new XP or the new, I don't know, I'm a software geek, but if you upgrade to the new Apple Watch and the new 10.1, 51.5 series, guess what? That's what you get. You got to be willing to be uncomfortable. You got to be willing to invest in yourself. If you don't invest in yourself, you're shutting off everything in your life. The only way I've been able to grow is by investing myself consistently. I've not paid my bills on certain occasions to invest in myself. The most valuable asset you have is right here between your ears, period. You are it. And until you can invest in yourself, period, and consistently grow, you're not going to change. Pain is what that equates to. If you have pains in your body right now, there's things that haven't been processed. If you have pain, there's suppressed anger that you're not able to push through. And I'm not telling you this because I'm better than that. I'm telling you this because I've done all of it. I've had pain. I've had pulled growings, messed up legs and ankles from doing stuff. I'm like telling you, it's real. That's right. You can always be better. Be the best version of you. We need people who are outstanding. There's enough mediocrity in the world. And guess what? You get to be you. You don't need to be Brian. I'm doing Brian. You be someone else. You be yourself. Just be the best version of that is. Whatever that is. All right? So, hey, I have an opportunity for you tonight. A special one, actually. We're going to call it quits. We went for an hour and 4 minutes, so hopefully you got a lot of fun. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and it literally felt like 10 minutes. I'm like, man, we just got started, right? So here's an opportunity for you. Chris and I had a discussion, and what we'd really like to do is make an opportunity so everyone has an option to rock and roll. And everyone has an option to learn. And we don't ever want to make our services and our digital products and things unaffordable for people, because ultimately what we're looking to is empower you and the masses to help you to be successful. All right. So here's what you have. You literally have the opportunity to invest in our Nutrition Empowerment Series for $77. That's $420 off the retail tag. What's up, Nydia? I think I said it. Nydia? I'll get it right. And I love you. It's great to see you. Tell your husband I said what's up. I enjoy him, Ramon. So here's your opportunity, right? So you have an opportunity to get our Nutrition Empowerment Series for only $77 for this week. Here's what you get as a bonus, because I always like to make sure that we throw some extras in there for you so you can thrive. First off, you and I are going to get to have a conversation. And guess what happens? I have no idea. I just show up. And what happens is there's going to be something that shows up and something that gets to be dealt with, and then we get to deal with it. Whether it's emotional stuff, whether it's body language stuff, whether it's whatever it is, we'll get to be able to help you out. Because ultimately my goal is to serve 200 million people, and I have no idea how that's going to happen, although it will happen by consistently getting to show up and consistently getting over to support you and your families and helping you to be the best version of you, because naturally that's my whole outcome. I have no other outcome than one by one helping you to be the best version of yourself. If I can support you in doing that, giving you the support, the accountability, and the skill sets necessary, you will thrive. If you take action, you trust me, and you give yourself permission to be comfortable being uncomfortable, because that's the only way it's going to happen. I assure you. Because anytime you're going into something new and you have fear of rejection and fear of failure, guess what? The only way you're going to fail is to quit. Period. That's it. There is no failure. It's just feedback. Something either worked, you got the result you were looking for, or you get to shift and you get to adjust. There's no such thing as failure. Eliminate that from your vocabulary. Adopt. It's only feedback. And once you figure out what you're looking for, you find someone who already has that, and you allow them to support and share with you. And once you decide to show up, guess what? Heaven will open up its gates and present to you every option. All of our Mother Earth will align and create all the necessary things that need to happen 5 years from now to help you get the person that you need in your life 1 year from today. All of these things will start to arrange. It's the most miraculous, amazing stuff I could possibly never even explain to you. Just understand and trust that it is very real, and it is very accurate, and it is very true. All right? So here's your bonuses. Number one, You're going to get added to our closed Facebook group where most of the people that are on our page are actually on there. So you have a lot of amazing people who are just super kick-ass, and they're extremely authentic. And we love each and every one of them because they are truly authentic, and they bring themselves. It's such a unique place where you get to hang out. You have questions. You just have extra support, and you have community. That's bonus number 1. Bonus number 2, I'm also going to give you the MP3 audio to our series. Here's the thing. If you make a commitment to put 2 to 3 hours of education time, put it in your phone, put it in your schedule, make it an appointment. When you're doing cardio, I know a lot of you are very active individuals on here. When I'm doing my cardio, I listen to a lot of stuff. Sometimes I like music. A lot of times I do. I just shift it. When I'm driving down the road, I don't listen to the radio. I put some education stuff in so I can just drill it down. That's what I feel best at, right? So you're also going to have the opportunity to do that for yourself, because you're also going to have the digital series, which means you can go and watch Chris and I talking like what we're doing now. But then you also have the slides where you can do that, right? Then you have the MP3 so you can listen to it whenever you're cruising down the road or whenever you're driving down, whatever you're doing, you have an option. Jennifer, you keep going from post to post, huh? Coast to coast. So that's number 2. Number 3 bonus, like I already told you, you and I are going to get to have a conversation. Why is that important? Well, it's important because if you're serious about showing up and you're serious about being the best version of yourself, I personally can probably help you one of the fastest people on the planet. And I personally think that because I've seen it happen, because God has blessed me immensely to do what I do. And I know that. And that's the whole purpose as to why I get to share it with you, to help you experience the best version of you and to help you understand, look, I've been where you're at, probably worse. And what I will be able to help you and share and help you to uncover faster is just where you're glitched at. Where you have some belief systems that are not serving yourself. Where your nutrition may be off. Whatever it may be, there's nothing off limits. There's no judgment. I love you and I vote your victory exactly where you're at. You just get to show up and then God will handle his business. That's all. It happens every time. I assure you. When I get to work with people, miracles happen every time, if you're willing to show up. The only reason why is because it's not because I'm some super amazing guru. It's because I align with God's laws, and God is no respecter of me or you. He's a respecter of his laws, and all I do is align with him. Is the same thing I'm going to share with you so you can experience the same opportunities in your life, and you can also share them with the people in your life. Okay? So that's bonus number 4. Actually, and here I got one more for you. Here's a little freebie. So this is the 4th bonus. This is only for the first 5 people, all right? So you're also going to get Chris's grocery store training secret video where he went through the grocery store, kind of like one of mine, and he went through and did a whole series on it to where you'll actually get that series for free, all right? So that's a free bonus. So you literally have about probably $700. Actually, there's $1,000 worth of free bonuses on there, not counting retail price. So literally take action now. It's only $77. If you decide you would like my grocery store training, you can actually purchase it for only $49 on the sales page when you enlist. So when you're done, if you decide to move forward and it makes sense for you, message me afterwards so that we can set a time to connect. I've got a busy week and I would love to make sure that we connect ASAP while it's fresh. And here's the deal. I'm going to really challenge you right now. For those of you that are still on, you are the troopers, and I appreciate you, and this is for you specifically. We're about to roll into year 2017, yes? 2017. I was talking to my spiritual coach yesterday, and it's the year of the 9. How she came up with it, I don't know. She's intelligent, though. This is a 9 year. If you're talking numerology, this is the year where old things pass and new things start. So you literally have a clean slate to create whatever you choose. You have the opportunity. You are an amazing creator. You are created in God's image, period. You have every ability necessary to create everything that you choose to do if you just trust that. And you put the information in your brain necessary for your subconscious and your divine conscious authority to align, to connect, and operate as one. You can totally do that. It is completely possible. I am a living example of that, and I'm nowhere near where I would like to be yet, and I'm nowhere near where I used to be. So my encouragement to you is to take me up on the challenge. Put your goals together. Get serious about being the best version of yourself, and don't settle for any mediocrity in your life. Even if it's sometimes when you get done taking a shower and your clothes are in the bathroom, you pick them up and throw them in the dirty clothes. I'm speaking to myself. I have little things I get to work on in the house too. No matter what it is, the way you do anything is the way you do everything. So that's all I have for you. When you get ready to move forward, when you exit out of here, literally the link is above in my post where you can access your training and get it for only $77. Take advantage of it if you have not already. If you know someone who would like to get involved in it, let me know. I'd be glad to have a conversation with them. I appreciate you. I love you. I enjoyed tonight so much. I'm grateful and honored for that. We got to share our time. And Chris will be going live tomorrow, and I will be going back on Wednesday, and we're actually going to start getting into the different components of all the stuff that we talked about tonight. So a lot of full-fledged training going on, so let me know how I can support you. I'm always available sometime, some way. Message me if you have any questions, and I will be going back through all of the stuff on here. Thank you. You're welcome, Jenny. Glad you enjoyed it. And I'll be going back through and answering questions and stuff on there like I always do. So if you have any questions, you know how to get a hold of me. I appreciate you. I love you. Good to see you, Nydia. Sonia, I appreciate you as well. Audrey, I love you. I appreciate you. Danny, Jennifer Cole, Valerie, y'all are all amazing. Thank you so much. Christy, is it how you spell it? Christy? Yeah, I'll get it right. Sometimes names may be a challenge. Appreciate you, Brenda. So y'all have an amazing day. Steve Rivas, love you, buddy. And I'll be chatting with you soon. So have an amazing night. And you know the drill. Remember, if you don't make time for your wellness, you will make time for your